Hi guys, welcome back to another Diablo 3 build video. In today's video I'm going to be going over the Seismic Slam LeapQuake Barbarian. This build is capable of clearing Greater Rift 90 plus, probably into the low to mid 90s, probably capping out at around 95 or so. At the end of the video I do include a Greater Rift clear I did of my own. It is only a Greater Rift 80, just forewarning you. I am very rusty with this and I haven't played this character really since Season 7. Since we're going on to Season 11, that was quite some time ago, so I myself am really rusty, so I only did an 80. But this build is definitely capable of clearing 90 plus. That being said, stay tuned after the build portion of this video to actually watch the clear itself so you can see how it functions and how it works for yourself. So in this video I'm going to be going over the gear, legendary gems, skills, runes, passives, and cubed items for this build. Before I get any further, please go into the description below and like my Facebook if you guys want to keep up to date with anything I make and or put out. I do contests and giveaways every once in a while whenever I hit milestones for my YouTube subscriptions and whatnot. So go down there and give me a like and follow me on there and subscribe on YouTube if you could please. Anything helps and I really appreciate it. So before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and get into the gear. Didn't mean to click that. So for the first item I am going to be you're going to want to run a set helm, Eyes of the Earth, with an ideal roll of strength, crit, seismic slam damage. Set shoulders with an ideal roll of strength, area damage, cooldown, and skill damage, which would be earthquake in this situation. Set chest, strength, vitality, skill damage, or earthquake damage. Set gloves, strength, crit, area damage for an ideal roll on that. Let's go ahead and move over here to the Hellfire Amulet. Physical, crit for ideal roll on that. As you can see, I did not get the best passive, but we're going to go into that once I go to the skills and passive portion of the video. I got Juggernaut, which is viable, but not ideal or perfect. For the bracers, you're going to want Bracers of Destruction. Seismic Slam deals up to 400% increased damage for the first 5 enemies hit. Ideal roll on that will be physical, strength, vitality, crit chance rather. For your belt slot, Girdle of Giants. Seismic Slam increases earthquake damage by up to 100% for 3 seconds. Now you can see my roll on this is a little bit out of whack. I rolled Life Per Fury Spent because I feel like it gives me a nice little amount of survivability that you wouldn't get from, like, say, a survivability stat like Vitality. But you could definitely roll a survivability stat such as Vitality, Armor, Life, or Resist, or whatever you are lacking. But I feel like the Life Per Fury Spent pairs really well with a skill that you'll see later on in the video. It just syncs up really well and gives me, like I said, some nice sustainability in bad situations. That being said, I'm going to move on to the next piece. Set legs. Ideal roll, strength, vitality, resist. Set boots, foundation of the earth. Strength, vitality, resist, skill damage, which would be Seismic Slam. Now, of course, we're going to want to run the focus and restraint combo, or Bastions of Will, as it is technically called. The ideal roll on this is going to be really difficult to get, but it would be area damage, crit. The next best thing, as you can see like I have, would be strength crit, which is a lot more easy to obtain, so that's what I'm rolling with myself, as well as my second ring. Strength crit, but perfect ideal roll would be area crit, because you can get as many strength points as you want from Paragon point distribution, if you're willing to put in the time, of course. So area damage over strength ideally, but strength crit is still very viable. The weapon is going to be Blade of the Tribes with a high earthquake damage. It rolls 150 to 200%, so in the 190% range I would say it would be sufficient. So ideal roll on this would be, though, area damage 10%, damage percent 10% rather, followed by area damage. I feel a little squishy, so you can see right here I actually rolled myself a vitality roll just to help with the squishy feeling of this build. But once you get to a certain amount of tankiness or a certain gear level, you can definitely drop the vitality roll for area damage. But I just went with the 1453 vitality for now. Seems to work for me, so that's what I'm rolling with. So you're going to see what I mean by the pairing one with the Seismic Slam belt here in a second. I'm going to move into the skills next. Seismic Slam, Strength from Earth, is going to be my first left click. This is going to give you 1% maximum life for every enemy hit, and I feel like that pairs really well with the Life Per Fury Spent on my belt. You see how I those things sync up really well. The life return from one stacked with the other. It's just really nice for the sustainability and the life return you're going to be gaining from both. But it is definitely very viable, like I said, to roll a survivability stat on that build. It's just what works for me. My right click, oddly enough, I like to use Earthquake Cave In for my right click. That may seem weird to some people, but it's just what's comfortable for me. So Earthquake Cave In for my right click. Number 1 key is going to be Battle Rage Bloodshed, followed by Threatening Shout Falter. 3 key is Leap Death from Above. And my 4 key is Wrath of the Berserker Insanity. I like to keep my ultimates or my transformation skills on my last key, which would be 4 in this scenario. It just feels really good for me to have my ultimate on the last key, so I'm less likely to accidentally mash it when I'm not intending to. So that's just ideal. That's just what works for me and what I'm comfortable with. So we're going to get into the passives now, and you're going to, I'll explain what I mean by the Juggernaut not being an ideal stat roll. That being said, first passive is going to be Nerves of Steel, followed by Earth and Might, Rampage, and Ruthless. Now, ideally, I would want to drop my Juggernaut on my neck for Boon of Volcathos. Boon of Volcathos decreases the cooldown on your Call of the Ancients, Earthquake, and Wrath of the Berserker by 15, 30, and 30 seconds. Now, ideally, I would want to drop my Juggernaut on my Hellfire Amulet for Boon of Volcathos. We'll go over to the skill page and just show you that really quick. Boon of Volcathos, right there. That's the one you would want to drop for the Juggernaut. So, ideally, your skills should be Nerves of Steel, Earth and Might, Rampage, Ruthless, Boon of Volcathos. Alright, going to move on to the Legendary Gems. As you probably already saw, I should have covered this earlier when I was going over the gear, but you may or may not have read them. First one is going to be Esoteric Alteration for the damage reduction. Gain 56% non-physical damage reduction. That's at level 92. This is a kind of squishy build, as I mentioned before, so this is really nice. I don't feel like you can really drop this because you lose a lot of survivability by not running this gem. And in your other 2 slots, you're going to be running, obviously, damage gems. The next one is going to be Bane of the Stricken for the increased damage and the Rift Guardian kill speed. This is going to help your kill speed on your Rift Guardian when you're really pushing the timer. Then Bane of the Trap for the last legendary gem. Pretty cookie cutter as far as the 2 damage gems go, paired with an Esoteric Alteration for the survivability increase, of course. Now we're going to go over the cubed items. These are pretty straightforward again, but we're going to go over them anyways. Furnace for the weapon slot for the increased damage to elites, 50% increased damage to elites. Really straightforward, awesome damage increase. No real flexibility there. Again, no flexibility on the boots either. Lut Socks is going to get you the additional leaps, which is going to get you the additional Earthquake, of course. And the jewelry slot is Band of Might. This is going to get you 60% damage reduction whenever you leap specifically. It also is procced on Furious Charge and Ground Stomp, but we are doing this specifically for the proc on leap. That's all I've got for the actual build portion of this video. Like I said, I'm going to include a Greater Rift 80 that I did with this build myself. This is definitely still capable of clearing 90 plus. I just did an 80 for the sake of the video to make sure I could actually crank it out so you guys could see the functionality and how this build performs for yourselves. So don't forget to go into the description below and give me a like on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. That's all I've got for the build portion of the video again. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. This is the part where it's supposed to stop recording.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take. look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers, standing in the shade. Going louder, we are all one color, standing in the way. Join the army of the shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Shadows, shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers, standing in their shade. Going louder, we are all one color, standing in their way. Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take. Going harder, we are more than numbers, standing in the shade. Going louder, we are all one color, standing in the way. Don't look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers, standing in the shade. Going louder, we are all one color, standing in the way. free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take. Look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers. Standing in the shade. Going louder, we are all one color. Standing in the way. Join the army of the shadow. Join the army of the shadow. Join the army of the shadows, shadows, shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers. Standing in their shade. Going louder, we are all one color. Standing in their way. Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take. Going harder, we are more than numbers. Standing in the shade. Going louder, we are all one color. Standing in the way. Don't look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows.